Hey, what's up everyone? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Marvel Legends Forge figure. This is from that 2-pack that came with Forge and Wolverine in this similar blue and yellow outfit. I think this is a pretty overlooked figure. I don't see many people talking about it being a good figure, but I think it's pretty good. It's not perfect, but I quite like it. He's got a lot of nice details, and he comes with a pretty good array of accessories. So let's look into him a little bit more. He stands just about 6 1/4 inches tall, which is pretty good scale for Forge, I think. He has 2 interchangeable heads, one with the bandana and the earpiece thingy, and one that's just plain little angry head, but none of the other little details, and those just pop off on a ball peg, which is hinged, so that's always good. And they made it so that the head sits down nice and low on the neck so that it looks quite natural. So that's very good. The Wolverine figure, not the exact same body, even though it's similar. That head's humongous, or the neck is humongous and the head sits really high. This one sits pretty nicely. I like it. He has a removable harness. It just unsnaps at the X. No paintwork on it, but it's still pretty cool. It goes all the way around the shoulders and then connects down to the belt with the X on it. It's not the best accessory ever, but it's nice that they included it, and it is nicely detailed. He comes with interchangeable hands. We have the robot hand there with an interchangeable pistol holding gloved hand, and they just peg in and out. They all have that hinge on there as well. So he's got 2 right hands, and he's got the gun holding hand on that side, and a fist hand that I just threw underneath the table. And the fist hand looks like this. So he's got a fist hand. So 4 hands total, and then he comes with 3 guns, I believe. I think these are all his, if I remember correctly. He's got this longer gun, the one that we saw with Hope Summers, and hers had this, but she didn't have a purpose for it. He actually has bit of an ammo belt that goes in there, so that's pretty cool. He also has this, it's really just a big pistol, so that's kind of cool. And then he has a small pistol, and like I said, it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure these all came with Forge, so these are all his weapons. And now the figure itself, the paintwork, anytime with yellow on dark, there's usually a problem. This figure tends to have some problems, but not horrible problems. There's a little bit of overspray around some of the edges. It's not terrible, but it is there. Some of the lines are fairly clean though. The gloves are all molded, so that's good. No issues there. Tend to have some problems on the back of the figure. A little bit of chipping, but nothing too horrible. Same problems throughout all the yellow, basically. These are molded. Any of the molded parts are fine, obviously. And the yellows tend to be pretty uniform, even though some are molded and some aren't. So that's good. All of the blue is molded. There's no shading anywhere. In fact, I don't think there's any shading on the yellows either. But it doesn't really look too bad. I think it's okay. So we already did the head articulation. We have a butterfly joint for the shoulders. It's actually fairly effective on this guy, so that's pretty nice. We have ball hinge shoulders with a bicep swivel, full range of motion, no problem. Double jointed elbows. It's not the greatest range of motion, but we do have them. The gloves get in the way a little bit, but it's not so bad. There is a swivel for each glove, and as I told you, the wrists hinge and swivel. They did paint the round parts, the round buckles on the gloves and on the straps, so it's not perfect, but it's definitely appreciated. I'm glad they did that. He does have a waist swivel and an ab crunch. The ab crunch works really well. The harness doesn't get in the way at all, so that's pretty good in my book. I'm really happy about that. Fortunately, he has Y-hinged hips, and they're really vertical Ys, so they go almost straight up. It's a problem, but the ball hinge itself is pretty good, and you can rotate the leg around to get him to pose how you want to. Thigh swivel built in. Double jointed knees, pretty good range of motion. It's not great, but it's not bad at all. Definitely enough. We have a boot swivel at the top of the straps, ankle swivel down here. It's redundant to have both of those. Oops. So I really wish it didn't have one up here at all, because that's not even a real actually, this here and this swivel here, that's not something that exists in real life. A little bit in the foot maybe, so I'll give you that, but definitely not in the shin, so whatever, we've been over that before. You don't need both for sure, but we do have the ankle hinge, no ankle rocker, so that's a bummer, but you know, I can live with it because the figure's pretty darn good otherwise. Like I said, he has the robot hand here. This whole leg is resculpted, even though this body has been used a bunch of times, and that leg looks really cool. It's molded in that kind of metallic plastic. A little bit of a wash would really make it look good, but it definitely looks good enough as is. So I definitely recommend this Forge figure. It may not be the best figure in the world. I don't know if he's supposed to hold it like that or not, but it's definitely good enough, and it's definitely the best Forge figure we have since it's the only one. That's a horrible pose. Whatever, we'll just put him, that's no good. Let's just stand him like that. Alright, so there's Forge, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.